Welcome to another episode of Hugo Smokes. I'm your host, Hugo, and today I'm going to be smoking and reviewing the Aladino Vintage Selection Elegante. This is a 7x38 Lancero, and it's a Honduras Puro, meaning that every leaf in here is comprised of tobacco from Honduras. On the wrapper is a Habano. Binder and filler are Corojo. As far as my previous experience with Aladino, I did have the regular Cameroon a while back, I think around March. That was a cigar from Mr. Cigar Collective. I just smoked it out of my own leisure, no review. So I'm pretty excited for this one. This one came from the February or March Unicorn Hunters Cigar of the Month Club, and it's been sitting in my humidor for a while. As you all know, I am slowly but surely getting into more thinner ring gauge cigars, Coronas, Lanceros for sure, Longstails, even Robustos, but 5x50s. So I'm excited to smoke this one, and it's been a while since I smoked Honduras Puro. The last one, I think it was the Plasencia 149, and I love that cigar. Can't wait to get it in the Cortez Vitola. Maybe by the time this video's out, I already have my box, hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's go ahead and take a look at this claro colored, almost Colorado colored wrapper, which is very nice, man. It's like almost silky. Lots of prominent veins there, and you can see that discoloration. I love that because you can tell that it's naturally aged, not accelerated like some cigars that are like way too uniform in color. That just doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, that's a different topic. Check out the nice cap there, and you can see the holes from the probe, which came in at around 59. It's good. Nice packed little foot. The band is nice and vintage looking in my opinion. This color scheme just reminds me of like the 70s, 80s color schemes. It kind of gets lost a little bit in the cigar wrapper in my opinion, but it looks very vintage. So good job, Aladino. And let's go ahead and see what the wrapper smells like. Smells a little bit sweet, semi earthy, but again, that doesn't really translate into the flavor profile all the time, so it doesn't really matter. I'm looking for my ashtray. I snipped the minimum I could possibly do off the cap because, oh, you know what? That had a lot of shavings in it. And this is why I shared that pro tip of every time you cut the cigar cap, you should tap it on a surface. Didn't take my advice this time, and I got a little bit of cuttings in my throat. There you go. So it works. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use a soft flame on this, toast it up, and see what we get. Alright, right off the bat, lots of citrus zest on the palate, as well as some bitterness from that citrus note. And some type of like woody, charred note that just lingers on the long finish. Let's see what the retrohale has for us. Oh yes, very nice musky tobacco note that usually comes from well aged and fermented tobacco. Yes, very nice. It's, some people call it dank, dankiness, musky, that type of note. It's kind of like a herbal slash like stale almost note, that's a little bit sweet at the same time. It's weird, but that's the note you get on a lot of these cigars that have aged tobacco, like the expensive opuses, the Atabays, you know, stuff like that. Oh yeah, nice. Like some would call it like a bready slash caramel vanilla light note. It's a very nice, pleasant sweetness that you get on the retrohale, and on the palate you still get that citrus zest, zing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why, but you know, Lanceros, Coronas, the smaller ring gauge, they just feel so fancy on the grip. I know, before I was like, oh no man, give me a Toro, give me a Gordo, you know, give me a Churchill, because I wanted to feel like that macho guy with the big cigar. But you know, this one, not that I'm knocking the way it feels, like I still feel like a fucking macho man smoking a cigar, you know, but it just feels very, very elegant, like I should be wearing like a nice 3-piece suit right now with some nice derby shoes. But I got my workout Adidas shirt right now, so for the purpose of the video. Still consistent on the palette and on the retro, very nice. So I want to hear your thoughts on Lancero's smaller ring gauge cigars. What's your go-to cigar? Do you experiment, especially when there's a lot of Vitolos offered in the cigar line? I know I do, and my first option is they have a Corona, a Lancero, a Longsdale. I choose that one first, and then I'll start building my way up, because that's the way the rollers do their cigars. They start off with the Lancero and they build up, so it makes a lot of sense, right? Okay, enough jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and smoke this down past the first third. As you can see, the burn line is already money, nice grayish white stacked ash, and I'll be back for my first update. Welcome back. I'm at the end of the first third of this Aladino vintage selection. As you can see, the burn line is just immaculate on this cigar. The ash is nice and white still. Just fell a few minutes before this take. Typical of Lanceros, they don't really hold on far out, in my opinion. So, as far as the cigar profile, it's very similar all across the first third. Now here, nearing the end of the first third, getting lots of charred woody notes similar to like oak. Still that bitterness. Getting now a peppery note that's a little bit spicy, lingering on the tongue. On the retrohale, still getting that nice muskiness. The sweeter note is now dominating, so it's flipped around now, which is very nice and enjoyable. On the retrohale, still getting about like a 3 or 4 sting on the sinus, so it's moderate. It's not as spicy as I thought it would be, given that it's a Honduran Puro, as my experience with Honduran Puros, they're pretty spicy. So far I'm enjoying this cigar. Let me go ahead and smoke it down past the second third, and I'll be back for my next update. Welcome back. I'm at the end of the second third of this Aladino. As you can see, the ash literally just fell before this take. Still getting lots of smoke. The burn line is razor sharp. Not much to report here on the second third. Same kind of profile, charred, oaky, woody notes with some citrus zest that's kind of bitter. On the retrohale, some musky sweetness from the, I guess, vintage tobaccos on here. I'm not sure how much age they have on them, but maybe it's quite a bit because it tastes really vintage to me. Another note that was introduced is like a subtle fruit note on the palate, which is very nice, delectable, and enjoyable. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The retrohale, it did increase a little bit. It's like a 6 and 7 out of 10 on this sting on the sinus. And now there's a little bit of pepper spice lingering on the tongue. So overall, it's a pretty well balanced cigar so far. So let me go ahead and smoke this down as far as I can, and I'll be back for my final update and closing thoughts on this Aladino vintage selection. Welcome back. I'm at the end of this Aladino vintage selection. As you can see, the burn line is just razor sharp. The ash is nice and white. Some dark streaks there, as you can see. But even here at the nub, it's producing tons of smoke. So the cigar took a little bit of a dip here at the last third. Mainly getting like anise spice on the palate. A little bit of charred oakiness. On the retro, no longer getting that nice sweet note. But getting a little bit of a stale tobacco note on the retro. As well as a little bit of charredness. In my opinion, the cigar was very tasty in the first and second thirds. It had just enough sweetness to keep me entertained, to keep me on my toes. As you all know, I really look for that sweet note in all the cigars I smoke. So the cigar's been burning for about an hour and a half now. And the price point on this cigar is around $10 across the table for a single. You get a 5-pack, it's about 50. 20 count box is about 190, so you get a little bit of a break there. So the rating for this cigar is going to be a 5-pack worthy. Nice cigar to try out if you like Lanceros. I love Lanceros, so I would definitely pick up a 5-pack, smoke a few, maybe share a few with some friends. And that's basically all I have on this cigar. If you had this cigar before, let me know your thoughts on it. As always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.